All right, so let's get rolling here this morning. Hey, David, good morning. All right, so let's do our first video on how to use Liquidity Grab Trader. It's in a trade right now on this Renko size. I'll be getting this Renko size out to you guys. This one did a little bit over, just over 70% yesterday on this Renko size. So I'll be going over this one and several other parameters that you can use. Right now, Gerald, let's get a sound check, see if we're good to go. All right, Gerald, are we good? Everything? Sure, we get a good sound check. All right, sounds like we are good to go. 1 second. All right, so this video, let's go over the basic way how to use the liquidity grab. So the chart I'm using now, I ran this yesterday on one contract and today. This chart right here is just right around 70% accuracy. Obviously, past performance is not indicative of future results, but I'm going to be getting you different parameters out where you can let it run around the clock, or you can let it run a certain in the room on a certain Renko size, which we'll go over in the room, how I got those charts set up in the room also. So this is a specific Renko size that I'm using in the room. I let it run all day yesterday. These are the results on one contract. So it's done very well with the stops and the targets being $350 stop loss and a 350 target gain. Now you can adjust that, which I'm going to go over with you in a second, but this is the basic way how you want to use the Liquidity Grab Trader. So when it gets in trades, it's only going to go with trend zone. So you can see that this is my trend zone. This is a 30-year back-tested trend zone. So the new Liquidity Grab Trader will not go against this zone. It doesn't matter what Renko size you use. The cool thing about this Liquidity Grab Trader is we can use larger Renko sizes now. We don't have to use smaller Renko sizes. Hey, George, good morning. So when I get these new parameters out to you members, I'm putting it together, for you guys to get this out to you. We just released the software. You got it downloaded. How do you use it now? Well, there's a couple ways you can use it. You can use it around the clock, like trading from 9:35. I like trading it from 9:35, let's say to 4 o'clock. You can do it that way. Some of you want to start early in the morning. If you're overseas, 1:30 in the morning is a good time to start there. And then you can trade this at any given time. You can trade it at night. When the market opens back up at 6 p.m. to around 10 p.m. Works well there also on different Renko sizes. So the key to it is this. It's not going to go against this trend zone that we back tested for 30 years. This zone has been tested as a best zone with an AI and an artificial intelligence program and an algorithm to be the best zone to keep trend or reverse price on the S&P. So what it's going to do, it's going to look for a V bottom automatically with this trend. It's not going to take any counter trend trades at all. So you're not going to get any counters. Once it does that, it gets you in. And like I said, this is a different parameter that I don't show in the room that I'll give out to you members. There's several parameters. I'm going to show you longer, intermediate, and shorter term parameters that your members will be getting this week. And you guys can use those. We'll use them all next week also. But my point is that when trades are taken, no matter what market it is, it will only go with this zone. If the zone is green, it's going to look to buy. If the zone is red, it's only going to look to sell. As soon as it gets in a trade, okay, it's going to give a red line, which is your stop line, and a blue line. Now, what that red line and blue line represent is this. It represents your profit target and your stop loss target. So per one contract, right? Per one contract, I have a 350 target price and a stop loss of 350. We have a 1-to-1 reward to risk. Now you can adjust that to whatever you want. And if you're going to test this, don't back test it. Don't strategy analyze it because it's Renko bars. You want to do a market replay and see how it does. That's the best way to do it. So, or just forward test it, or just let it run on Sim if you want to before you start trading, if you're going to start trading live on this. So the bottom line is I have a target of 350 all day yesterday and today, and a stop loss of 350 per one contract. your stop ticks and target ticks can be 1,000 because you're just basically going on your profit target and your stop loss goal per one contract. So when the strategy takes a trade, it's going to pop up $350 stop loss, $350 target price. Now, what you can do if you want to get into runners, because you can adjust these stops, which I'll show you, or adjust the targets. Some of you want to put this in, let's say a $200 stop loss, and then put a profit target of 800, let's say, or 600. Let's do a 3-to-1 reward to risk. That means that stop line would be way up here, a profit target, and your stop line would adjust higher at the middle of this bar. That way, what you can do is you can adjust your stop and trail the price as you're trying to get to that $600 to $800 profit target. As soon as it hits the profit target line that you can adjust, or the stop loss line, and you double click off of it, okay? If you do that, then what you're going to do is it's going to, as soon as it ticks and hits that line, it's going to sell the trade, whether it be the profit target or the stop loss. All right, so now can you put a stop in and a target price in if you do multiple contracts? Let's say if you want, while it's trying to get to the 350 here, you want to put one, and you do 2 contracts or 3 or 4 contracts. You can put target 1 at, let's say, 4 ticks, 8 ticks, 12 ticks, and then 1,000 ticks. And then it'll scale on the way up, getting to this target price, right? But this is the ultimate target price. Yeah, Brandon, I would jump out of the room and jump back in. Everybody sees a picture. And I'm recording this if you missed this, buddy. All right, so that's the key. That's a neat thing about the algorithm now, is that you can put its per profit target and stop loss, no matter if you do one contract or 6 contracts or what have you. That's a cool feature about it. And because now we can use longer Renko sizes, because it's only going to take it with trend, zone trend only, and it's per profit target and stop loss. Now, we only want to use a SymmTick close. I mean the SymmLiquidityGrabTraderNT8. Sorry, we don't want to use a close. We only want to use a tick. The tick is because if it hits our profit target by a tick, our stop loss by a tick, it's going to sell us out. All right, and that is key. We want to get out when it hits that. So these results that it's done since yesterday. Now remember, like I said, past performance is not indicative of future results. I will show you the exact chart I've used to get these results on one contract yesterday. As soon as it hit the profit target, it ticked out. As soon as it hit the stop loss at 350, it ticked out. 350 is not an optimal. I didn't optimize 350 as the best stop loss and the best profit target. You can adjust that to the way you want it. Okay. Like if you want to scalp, and you want to go smaller Renko size, do $100 stop loss and $100 profit target, right? If you use longer Renko sizes and you want to do a $300 or $200 stop loss and a $500 profit target, you can do that. The key is this though, check this out. We can adjust stops. So if I click on this stop and I can adjust it anywhere I want. As soon as I click off on it, now I clicked off on it, that's my new stop. So as this trade moves along on longer Renko sizes like this one, on these trades, you got plenty of time to adjust your stops with trend. So let's say you're in this trade over here, right? And the stop loss was down here initially, and it gets in the trade, and the trade starts running on you. You can trail by clicking it and moving it up and trailing that and trying to get that big run, right? Trailing the big run on the way up, right? All the way up until it hits its profit target. If you do this, you can also move your profit target also. Now remember, I got a $350 profit target, $350 stop loss per trade. Let's say you went $200 initially in, and $200, it would just move your stop up and move your target price down, right? But let's say you want to put in $800 profit target, like some of you guys will want to do on my larger Renko sizes, and put it up here and keep it at $200 stop loss per one trade. You can do that also, because then once you get in a trade, the cool thing about this algo, you can adjust on the strategy chart. You can adjust right on it. Do you have to touch it and adjust your stops? No. This chart I let run around the clock yesterday and today, so it for $350 stop loss, $350 gain, but I can do a $200. I can do a $200 stop loss and $200 per one contract or two contracts, what have you. Another thing, let's say you do 6 contracts and you have a $200 loss. It's a culmination of when all those 6 contracts are at a $200 loss. Remember that. So if you do more contracts, you're going to have to widen your stop loss because it's a dollar value, right? But right now I got a $350 stop loss, which is right around there, and a $350 target price, which is right around there, right? So it's going to get me out as soon as it ticks on there. So these are totally adjustable. The other thing I have in the strat, get this out of the way, is that it's the time of day trades. Start time, stop time. Let's say you don't want to trade. Now I have this running 24 hours a day, 1:30 to 1:29:59. It runs 24 hours a day. If you want to only run during market hours at 9:35, let the New York open up and run it to, let's say, 10:30. You know, that first hour and a half of trading. You can do that. Just put 9:35 to 10:30. Or if you want to run it from 9:35 to, let's say, 4 o'clock, let it run all day on this, on a Renko size you like. You can do that also. So I added two start and stop times. Let's say that you want to wait till news comes out for 5 minutes after news and you want to start it at 8:35. You put 8:35 there. It won't trade until 8:35. That way you don't get involved in a news event. We never want to trade this strategy into news events, right? So there's a start and stop time there also. Now you can adjust. Here's my trend. I have a trend. Uni Renko trend. I'll show you how to do this. If you want larger trends of staying green and red only, you can adjust this Uni Renko. We've always used a 165.65. If you want larger trends, you can do a 100. You can adjust this. I'll show you this, how to do this under parameters, because I'm putting a neat little a small little PDF of all these different parameters you can use on these markets. You can adjust that if you want to. This is our standard 54.38 zone that we use. You can adjust that. I know the NASDAQ works well at 62.54. It gives you a little bit larger zone, so you can adjust that. So these are all adjustable features. Obviously, you can adjust the profit target and your stop loss. You can use a break-even feature. Let's say you do, 4 contracts, and you scale one contract out. You scale one contract out at let's say 4 contracts, and 8, 12, and then 1,000, what have you. If you get your first contract off and that break even is checked, before it gets to the profit target, that break even will take into effect before it hits your major stop loss. So that break even still works. If you just put 1,000 ticks like I got right now and 1,000 target one, it's going to totally go on just on your profit target and stop loss like right now. It's just strictly looking for 350. So it's going these last trades, 350 winner, 350 winner, 350 winner right there. And then it's going to get ready to stop us right here again. So let's say you just want to get out of the trade, right? You can lower you can just, you can come into your contracts and you can exit your position, because right now it's in a position. And you can exit out under positions and just hit close, or just let it get to your contract. See how it clicked the stop line, and it got us right out at the stop line. So the key is this. 1, it will only trade with 30-year back-tested zone trend. 2, it's the total profit or stop dollar amount it's going for per trade, no matter how many contracts you do. 3, as soon as it enters the trade, after entry, you can adjust your stop and target as the trade ticks. 4, you only want to trade the newer version that you guys got. You only want to trade the SymmLG tick, not the close. Because the tick is getting you out. As soon as you saw how it clicked right on my tick at $350, it got me out. The close won't do that. It'll wait for a closing basis. And if you put $350 as your stop loss, when that bar closes on a larger Renko size, it's going to get you out at a larger stop until that bar closes. It may be, instead of 350, it may be 450, 550, 650 stop. So we don't want to use that. The only reason I put it in, and we're not going to get it to new traders anyway. That was our older version with the bells and whistles added to it. So I just been using the SymmTick. That's what I want everybody to use going forward. So it's a SymmTick because you can't adjust stops on the Sym close. Okay, so use a SymmTick, SymmLiquidityGrabTick. All right, and then also your time of day trades. You can put in and let it trade only a specific time of day trade. All right, now parameters you can adjust. Adjust the tick, offset, and trend. This is different than your standard 1-1-35 or 1-1-25. I showed that in the room right now, just to show you how it works on a larger Renko size and a smaller Renko size, and I'll show you how you can only trade during optimal times using those charts, which I'll show you in a second. But you can adjust a tick, offset, and trend, and it will totally give you different results. Okay, what members are getting is they're getting these parameters, like this parameter that's done well this week already, and it slows it down. If you trade off of a 1-1-20 chart, it's too fast for some traders. You don't need to do that. You can slow it down and trade off these larger Renko sizes because it's a total dollar amount of a stop loss or dollar amount per trade, and it's only going to take it with trend. Okay, so in the room, we have these charts set up. We have my large Renko chart set up here, and these are the zones that come up, which we show you how to put on. This is a workspace that we can put on for you guys. You can double click on the members download page, and you can download these charts. It's a standard package. You get your trend. The trend is the only way you should be taking these trades. There'll be times where this trend, these demand zones right here, if they're green, will stop to the exact tick. Sometimes it did it yesterday 3 times, where you'll come in and you'll see trend zone, whether it be buying or selling, and you'll see it come up and we'll hit these reversal bars, right? As long as we're green, we should look to, on shorter Renko bars, we should be buying only. That being said, this will get your mind right of what you should be doing. See how it stopped to the tick there, my zone, demand zone there. If you see this and it starts going back up and you get a liquidity grab pull in, it could be a really big one coming up for a big run, right? As long as it's green, we're looking to net buy. As long as it's red, we're looking to net sell, right? Right now, it's a buyer's market. The smart money's buying liquidity. These are big liquidity grabs. So it's conducive to winning trading plan to do what? Conducive to winning trading plan to make sure we only buy, right? So we're only looking to buy. So these are charts you can get with the Liquidity Grab Trader. So once you put this on, you're gonna have two different parameters. So this is a buy right here that came up. So let's enter the strategy. Let me show you. Let's put the strategy on together. There's a strategy. $350 target price, $350 stop loss. Let's put it to $250, let's say. Or $200 stop loss. And let's go with a $600 profit target. Or let's go with $800 profit target. There we go. I got my target stopped as 1,000 ticks. And I stop 1,000 ticks because I'm going off the profit target and stop loss. And then I just enable the strategy. All right, so make sure we see it plot. All right, so the last two trades on a $200 stop loss and an $800 profit target, here's what we're looking at. So what you can do is, let's say you want to trade this way. There's two zones. This is the most important zone. It's not going to go against this inner zone. This is a 30-year back-tested zone. Hey, Derek, good morning. This is a 30-year back-tested zone on these parameters per this chart, right? So right now, it's long this contract right here, right? So we're long this contract right now. You can trail based upon it's trying to get to that $800 target price, but you can trail your stop loss. So I can trail my stop up by clicking on it and trail. So it got in at 54.40, but I can trail all the way up. So as soon as this price comes down and ticks down to, let's say 54.46 or what have you, you can stop out. This is a really easier way how to trade. Instead of trading off, let's say a 1-1-20 chart, I want to give you these parameters. Let's say on this chart, you know, this chart's done very, very well, you know, on catching these swings in the market. So you can trade off any Renko size that you want. If you want to let it trade around the clock, and I give you these different parameters, you members are going to get different parameters for these, like this one I'm trading here. You don't have to adjust these stops at all if you don't want to. But if you want to, and you adjust that stop, let's adjust it up, let's say, and click it right there. As soon as it hits that stop to the tick, remember we're trading the Sim Liquidity Grab tick. We don't trade the Sim Liquidity Grab close. That's our older version. The Sim Liquidity Grab tick, as soon as it gets out by a tick, it's going to pop you out of the trade. So this is a $200 reward, risk to an $800 reward on this specific Renko size. And you can adjust that. You can adjust that. All right. Gerald, can you type in and help Brandon out? He's having trouble. So let me go over a couple things. Since it's in a trade right now, you'll see the 30-year back tested zone is dark green. And then you'll see this other zone green. This is our dual trend filter. But I put it on noise. This is still our dual trend filter. If it's green, you're looking to only buy. It will only buy. No matter what, it's only going to buy with the 30-year back-tested trend zone. But if you're looking for another filter, you can add this indicator in, and Gerald will show you how to do it on our workspace. And it gives you complete trend, because now we're going with the complete trend of our large chart. Our large chart, they're only liquidity grab buying. And they're coming down. As long as I stay above my zone right here, my outer zone of 54.29, you can see the green margin right here, 54.29. This market's in a hard uptrend. So 54.29 is a line in the sand. So that tells me at 54.29 that this market is in a hard uptrend. So I can see when it came down to 54.29 right here, look how I got a V bottom and I'm green. This is going to be a nice setup right here to get long, no matter what Renko size you use, because I'm going with the long trend. If it's green and my shorter Renko size is green, also green, that's conducive to a hard trend to the upside. Now, if this smaller Renko size is red and this is not green, then you can turn your strategy off if it's not in line with the larger trend. I added this extra indicator filter so you can turn the strategy on and off and not participate in red-green. Those situations will come up where it's red-green or green-red. Red-green or green-red. Let's find one here. So let's say it's red-green like this. You don't have to trade this setup if it's red-green, right? So you don't have to trade those type of setups. where you can just trade green that matches with this overall setup right here. Okay. Let's say you want to do shorter targets. No problem. And you don't want to, you want to just trade $200 to $200. Simply come in here, and you don't want to trail, right? You just want to let it trade. You get $200, $200. It's going to do the total of $200 stop. So the last 4 trades are since midnight. I'm sorry. It's had 1 loser, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 winners. It had $200 stop here. Then had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 winners in a row. So you can adjust your stop accordingly to whatever you want. My way I'm educating is you use a larger Renko size and doing 1 contract. Then make sure you adjust it accordingly to it's a dollar amount, not a tick amount. Okay, it's a total dollar amount. When you do market replay, it will go with the dollar amount. So let's say you do 6 contracts, it's going the total dollar amount. Remember that. So if you have $100 stop loss on 6 contracts, it's not going to give it much variance. I mean, it's not going to give it much room to breathe, right? What I recommend, I educate traders start with 1 contract, because 1 contract, as you can see the results earlier in this video, can do just as much damage as a lot of contracts if you stick with green or red, right? So the overall algorithm will only go with this zone trend, 30-year back tested zone trend. I added this extra in as an indicator, so you can see if it's green or red, and you can see where the line in the sand is. As long as I stay above the line in the sand here, which it has been, you're good to go to leave the algorithm run on green, right? Or when it's red, if it's red, let me show you red. If it's all red, like this, it turned red yesterday at 2 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you turn the algorithm on when it's red and let it run to your specified target. So this is a good way to get your mind right. They're buying, liquidity grab buying. We're making this very simple. And then we got zone trend up. Zone trend is up. Okay, zone trend is up. So it's green, and then we'll take whatever trades that you want to trade. I mean, whatever profit and stop loss target that you guys want to do. Okay, so 1 second here. So what I show in the room, this is what I show in the room. You don't have to use these Renko types. I use a shorter Renko size and a larger Renko size. You can put whatever Renko size. Let's say you just want to trade off this chart on these parameters that I'm getting out to all you members, different parameters you can use. You can use your own custom parameters. You can just trade like this if you want to, and just trade off of 1 chart. Because then what you're doing is you're going with big trend. You got market profile over here to see where the big breakouts are. And you're as long as you're above this outer line in the sand, as long as I stay above the outer line in the sand and you're green, you want to have that liquidity grab trader, tick trader turned on to take these trades. Okay, because you're going with overall big trend in the direction of the move. We added all these filters in.